This is an early 1930s Ford Coupe hot rod, made to look very similar to ZZ Top's Eliminator. So let's go into the upholstery room and see how this interior is shaping up. First, let's say hello to Brandon Falls. Well, this Brandon Falls. Brandon and the Ford Coupe are at Hickman Creations. This is a fantastic shop. Look them up. And you're watching Road Odyssey. I am Burke. Hope you're having a great day. Please give a like and subscribe down below. In September, the Ford was having the engine worked on and the interior had begun. Here are some pics and vids of the Ford Coupe. It is a beauty. So this is in October, and I thought I'd just let you take a second to gaze at this car. It is really a fun looking machine. The engine is absolutely squeezed in, but it is a pretty fancy hot rod. And one complication to this car as far as doing the seating is that the roof line is so low that these seats are definitely not just custom built, but specifically built so that an average or taller person can sit and manage this car. When I returned on December the 1st, this was when I really woke up as to what was going on with this car. Brandon took me back to it in the garage and we began checking it out. The first portion of this car that was completed was the headliner and the pocket inside the headliner above the rear view mirror. And this is a good time for me to interrupt you with a disclaimer, and that is with many of these custom cars, they are not built 100% perfect in dimensions. So when an artist like Brandon goes to work on this thing, there is a lot that goes into making sure that, say like when he builds the console, that it is just dead on, centered, and perfect. The inside of the doors, the door panels, had not been completed at this time as well. So Brandon showed me pretty much what the idea was going to be like. Here's Brandon's sketch of the desired interior console. And at this time, I saw on one of the tables, it looks like a mock-up of the console. And, well, here is the finished product. So the entire console, front to back, lined in basically LED light. So this is really, really fantastic looking, well sculptured. And, you know, I mean, it's not really delicate, but it's sort of throwback and futuristic all at the same time. The lid is magnetic, and he showed me later that on either side there are magnets for the seat belts. What Brandon is showing me here is not just the hollowed out tubing for the wires, but also for the conduit for the air conditioning and heating. He had also had the foam of the seats pretty well cut and glued and sculptured, so those are looking very, very nice at this time. I returned about a week later, December 9th, to get another update on this interior. The door panels had been completed and installed. The console is in, and the first iteration of looking at the seats has been done. I really like the way the doors were done. You have that underglow up underneath them, which is really nice. You can see how the seats are set. There's another look at that great roof liner. And here we are looking at the console a little more closely. And again, how the seat belts magnetically attached to the console. It was on this December 9th that I took an extensive number of video clips of the make and install of the carpet. So let's do a quick time lapse of all this good work. I am beginning with him cutting the base padding for the floors. And so, gets all of his measurements, cuts them out, fits them, marks them with a black marker, and then he will be making subsequent cuts. So doing this on both sides, and there is going to end up being 6 total pieces. So this, it takes a little bit of time to get this flooring, kind of set up. So here is making some of the cuts on these after he had marked them. Goes back, refits them, and kind of gets them very close to being completed. And here he's done the final cuts on that center portion. Now he's doing the part up under the feet, getting those done. And next it comes time to glue all this stuff down to the floor. So you got to spray glue on the back of the pads, and then you spray glue on the actual car floor itself. And once all of that's all got glue all over it, you just start applying the pads. So he had to be careful of the up underneath that center console where the wires are. And you really don't need the padding up under the bracing of the seats. So here's a quick look of what the end product looks like at this point. Nice and well tucked in. All right, so then he moves on to cutting out the fabric itself. And I think they chose a fantastic color for the fabric. So here up underneath the console, getting this portion done. It's sort of like a big triangle. So getting this all cut out and finalized. So refitted and tucked up under that firewall backing. And then the floor itself, getting it all set up. And again, just like with the padding, mark it, make some cuts, get it kind of trimmed down to how it needs to lay. And so just going all around, and here he's chalking it to get a more precise outline of the final fit. And here's a quick look at that. Here it is, pretty close to being the final fit for this. So, does this for both sides, starts really trimming them up with the scissors. And then he's doing more trimming, isn't he? So this really takes a little bit to get that perfect. Now here, he is getting leather strips that is going to be the border of portions of that floor carpet. He's sewing the border leather onto the carpet. So this is a 3-part set of steps. So sew it on, then glue it along the back, and then once that's all stuck and sewn together looking nice, then he'll do a final sew from the face, and it will look really, really nice. And of course, during part of this process, there's a lot of trimming and just making sure that there's not too bulky. It's nice and smooth. So, he pretty well whips this out. So far, he has spent maybe half his day or a little bit more to get to this point. All right, so let's move on to the next step. So he's got the whole top end of this done. And so he's fitting this and making sure that it's perfectly correct, and it was. So now it's time to glue it all down. So he's gluing the front half first. So sets the carpet in, gets it all stuck in and pushed in really well. Going around the door sill was fairly quick. He had to re-drill holes in order for the pieces of metal to be put down correctly, but he got all that situated, recut the fabric, and refit it so that everything was just right. Now here he is, he's tucking in the fabric under the console, and again, all this is done right before finishing that door sill. And so he trims out the door sill and gets it done and in place. And there you go. It is all just really in ship shape. Perfect. Absolutely perfect when he's done with this. All tucked in and ready for the seats to be done. So here are some pictures that he sent me when it was all said and done. Passenger side. There's that carpet all finished out with the seats completed and installed. Very, very lovely. Great contrast. The lighting really shows this cab off wonderfully. And it's not too bright. I really think this is going to be a perfect interior. Thank you, Brandon, and thank you, Hickman Creations. And I appreciate every one of y'all for watching Road Odyssey. Please give that like and hit that subscribe button, and we will have more fun in the future looking around at Hickman Creations and finding more wonderful little nuggets of things that are going on there to share with all of y'all. So I really hope y'all have a fantastic day. Please relax, take it easy, and I will see you later. Bye.